Captain's log supplemental. The ship picked up an invasive fungus at our last spaceport stop. This particular fungus apparently produces spores that affect humans in much the same way that alcohol does. Shortly after departure, there were reports from the cargo bay and the surrounding area of crewmen acting oddly. They were getting into fights. Speaking crassly, we even had a report of Ensign Mayhew running naked through the corridors. Luckily, we were able to catch it before it spread too far. Ooh. Okay, just breathe through. But those affected, myself included, are now experiencing the effects of significant exposure to the fungus, which is, unfortunately, the same as alcohol as well. I can't do this right now.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Captain's Log Supplemental. My name is Stanford. I am joined by my two good buddies, Rob.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hey there.
And we are, of course, being very effectively supervised by our producer, Mariah.
Hi there.
Captain's Log Supplemental, we rewatched Star Trek. We're in chronological order, so we're starting with Enterprise. If you like what you hear, give us a rate, give us a review, send me an email. If you don't like what you hear, do all those things and send me an email, and I'll be happy to take a look at those. This is episode 26 of season 2, which means that we have officially been releasing this podcast, I should say, for exactly 1 year.
Oh.
Go us.
This is 52 episodes.
That's a lot.
It's been quite the thing.
Been a long road getting from there to here.
So how's everyone feeling tonight? Y'all do anything for the eclipse tomorrow?
My work is doing a thing. I'm actually off tomorrow, but I'll swing by to make an appearance.
I'm doing nothing.
You're in Montana. Are y'all even going to get any eclipse?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to look at the map yet.
I know it's mostly it's like this swath one from like New England down into Texas.
I don't think Montana's gonna see it.
Yeah, where I'm at, we're like right around like 90% totality.
Oh, that's not bad though.
No, yeah. It's not as good as 2017 when we were in the path of totality, which was awesome. But
oh, that is cool. Yeah, we're pretty close. If we were in Pittsburgh, we would be, but here in Philly, we're gonna be closer than Missouri, but not
sure.
Not quite totality.
Right.
Our hospital is ramping up for extra patients.
Yeah, apparently
people doing stupid things.
Well, apparently it's mostly car accidents, from what I understand, that
people just looking.
Well, yeah, but also there's a lot more people driving to go to places to go look at it and stuff.
Sure,
yep.
That makes sense.
There was a video where someone was like, check out this map of all the Airbnb rentals for that night, and it was just you could tell where the moon was going to be based on how thick that was.
I saw that.
It's pretty cool. Oh man, I had other banter, but I don't remember any of them.
Well,
all right.
To the
episode, we'll just
then?
get to the second episode. So this is the last episode of the season. It's called The Expanse. No, it is not that awesome show. It is something much worse. Apparently in April of 2143 or some shit. And Potpourri went to Earth and just fucking shot a laser at it, and the only response I had was Jesus Christ, as this fucking enormous laser just cut a several kilometer wide trough down Florida and cut Cuba in half, and then went into Venezuela.
I wonder what kind of damage it did on the ocean floor.
I don't know.
It was funny. One of the comments I was reading on this was that it was weird that Reed and a Trip wind up standing in the canyon left behind, because really the Atlantic Ocean should have filled that in.
Right, yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know. Well, I'd say you don't know how deep it was, but it's Florida. They're 3 feet above the ocean anyways, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On a good day.
That's a good point. So yeah, we get this very dramatic CGI sequence of this laser cutting through Florida and Cuba, and then straight into Faith of the Heart.
Yeah.
As we come back,
quite the opening.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a tone shift, but that's all right. As we come back from the opening, though, we're now with these fucking Klingons again because they are still butthurt about like Archer saving those refugees. Yeah. A storyline that like it's good. We're good on it. Can we move on, please? And I guess we are going to at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But on the Enterprise, we get an emergency conference among all the department heads. They're using the hell out of like an unsteady handheld camera for this particular shot as they're like moving around the room and looking at everyone. And I almost threw up. It was awful.
Later that we get that found footage. Fucking
Vulcan
ship scene.
We're gonna get there too.
Like, what is this, a fucking Blair Witch project? What's happening?
So they're like, there's laser fucking through Florida. There's so far we've counted 1 million casualties. I'm like, 1 million? Jesus, that's a lot of casualties. That number goes up. So Archer's like, we've been recalled, and Trip's like, did they say why, motherfucker? What do you mean?
I'm
why?
Like, why do you think?
Because 1 million people may have died because somebody attacked Earth. Why wouldn't they recall you?
Right.
There've been a lot of sad forest calls. Apparently Trip has family in Florida, specifically his sister. And so Trip's like, what part of Florida did they hit? And Archer's like, he didn't say. Why? Like, could you send a map? What the fuck? Like, why didn't they tell him?
Yeah.
Is there no like subspace news channel yet?
I guess not. Shit. And then so like this is going to be the start of like this episode. I didn't see who directed this episode. This episode does a lot of like cuts to people who are just making like dramatic statements about what's going on, and then we cut to other people doing the same thing. The death toll went up to 3 million, and they said like the Vulcans found the pod that had been discarded, like the laser weapon that had been discarded in the ocean. So the Vulcans put that in Starfleet headquarters. Although I feel like the Vulcans could have like maybe helped with that more. And then the Suliban show up because we gotta hit all the high marks of this fucking show. So of course we get some sealing troops.
Sealing troops. Sneaky sealing troops.
They're the worst. I feel like at this point the writers of the show are also like, we gotta put some sealing troops in here because like they're just kind of there. They abduct Archer in this weird like little like horror movie-esque scene. And I was like, oh nice, they took Scott back. Oh damn, he's back. And Scott Bakula has to go talk to like the Suliban's like temporal Cold War liaison.
Yeah.
And I guess this room doesn't do that weird time warpy thing anymore. They solved
they
that
fixed
problem.
that issue. It's fine now.
Yeah. Which is good because that was getting gross.
Yeah, no more frame dragging.
So this is where we find out that apparently the people who attacked us are called the Zindi. And they attacked us preemptively because they know that we're going to go destroy them in 400 years. And Archer's like, but how could they know that? Which is a real stupid question when you're talking to someone from the future.
The guy from the future.
But the guy from the future is like, obviously someone from the future told them. And Archer's like, oh yeah, I guess that makes some sense. And the Suliban deposit him back on the Enterprise, and so then T'Pol comes and rains on everyone's parade when it comes to time travel. Because T'Pol's like, well...
Yeah, she does.
Hey, if that guy can travel back in time, why didn't he just tell us about it before it hit the Earth? And Archer's like, because he didn't think we would believe him if we did that. And she's clearly like, that's a stupid argument. Which I don't disagree.
It is a stupid argument.
Mm-hmm.
Death tolls up to 7 million as we come out of warp in the solar system. So, like, there's the sun, we can see it, and then the Klingon attacks.
That was a fun little scene, honestly.
It was all right. Cool. It was weird because, so the bird of prey shows up. It's like the early bird of prey thing, right? And And I was like, okay, but they're like in the Sol system. Where is everyone to help them? And like, as I was saying that, like this defense force showed up and started shooting at the Klingons, which was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's
like the first time we've seen like actual like Starfleet ships in the show outside of Enterprise.
Right. And they punked the Klingons down. The Klingons ran off. It's the first time we've seen Saval on screen since that actor died. So rip the Saval actor. Saval is very not convinced about this time traveling bullshit. And Archer's like, well, this guy in the future, he gave me the coordinates to the Xindi planet so that we can go fuck them up. And it's in a thing called the Delphic Expanse, which is, I guess it's like the Bermuda Triangle of the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
People getting turned inside out.
Saval says, it's like, we sent the ship in and they come, or a Klingon ship went in and they returned and there had been anatomically inverted. And my note is, ew, what the fuck?
That is the appropriate response to that.
And
then he says they were still alive, which
still alive, inside out, but still alive.
Impossible.
Yeah. No. So he's like, without any proof, I don't think anyone should go in there. And Archer's like, he said you'd be reticent, which, like, yeah, we all knew that would happen. He's like, he gave me proof. Come follow me. And so they go down to what I assume is
fucking scene. Jesus Christ.
Is the same garage that, like, they did the test flights for the for first flight in.
It definitely was, yeah.
And he was like, check this out. He's like, starts scanning the wreckage and using a thing called quantum dating. And like, everyone's like, Archer, can you just fucking tell us your point? What's your point? Tell us your point.
Getting to it.
And he's like, I'm getting there. I want to make this dramatic. So he's like, this thing's 4 years old. This thing's 7 years old. And thanks to quantum dating, we can tell that this thing is negative 420 years old.
Nice.
I went ahead and looked up, because I assumed I knew the answer to this. I went ahead and looked up if quantum dating is like a real thing. It's not.
Yeah.
Actually, it gave me some kind of weird speed dating thing. Which was
speed dating for nerds.
Yeah, that was not what I was expecting. So Archer's like, obviously this component comes from the future. And Saval, being a big brain's like, future dude, in quotes, said that they could communicate with the Xindi. Sending a component is very different than sending a communication.
Mm-hmm.
And Archer's just like, nah.
Pretty much. Well, I don't fucking know how it's here, but it's here. So, meh.
And fortunately, the oh my god, sorry, hold on, I'm getting texted by my sister-in-law. Fortunately, the remains of the pilot of this like Xindi weapon are also kept in this garage, just like right next to the wreckage. So they open him up, and he looks like a gross goblin thing,
like reptilian.
And then we get this like hard cut to them on the Enterprise medical bay. It was such a hard cut that I thought that they were maybe in a different medical facility and they were going to be looking at the fucking goblin. But they're just on the Enterprise now. And there's a Vulcan here with Phlox. And the Vulcan's asking weird questions of Archer. And like, at first it's like, oh, he's just checking to make sure you're okay. But then he's kind of asking these like weird psychoanalytical questions and about whether or not Archer believes in time travel and shit. And at first I was like, is this Vulcan a time traveler? But no, he's just being a dick.
Nope, just being a shithead.
And if Phlox gets fucking mad.
So bad.
Yeah.
Phlox is like,
rightfully so here.
Oh yeah. Phlox is like, get the fuck away from my patient, asshole. You came out here under false pretenses. And then Archer's like, escort him to the airlock, which sounds extraordinarily menacing.
Sounds like he's going to push him out the airlock into space.
I know.
Sounded like he was just about to space him. And then we get a sad scene where Trip and Reed are standing next to like part of the wreckage of this like trough. CGI Trip and Reed look fucking awful. I don't know why that decision was made, but they look fucking terrible.
There's anytime they do like CGI people in this show, it looks so bad. There's like a scene
so
later
bad.
where like the Enterprise is like leaving space dock or whatever, and there's like these like suited up people, and like the one guy like starts to get up, but he only bends at the waist, so he's all moving all fucking stupid.
I missed that one.
Yeah, this scene just cements my opinion that Trip is definitely the O'Brien of Enterprise.
Yeah, Trip's basically like, yeah, my sister's house was right there, and now it's a fucking crater. And Reed's like, maybe they weren't there. And he's like, well, if they weren't, she hadn't fucking called yet, so I'm pretty sure she's dead.
Yeah.
Rip that bitch, I guess.
Yep.
Act 3 cuts in with what looks to be the Enterprise that has been completely stripped down, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that ship is getting an overhaul, but it turns out that's actually the NX-02 still under construction.
Yeah, I thought that too, and then it actually had NX-02 on the front of it.
Oh, I wasn't looking that close.
That.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's a different ship. And then I guess like this is the point where Archer approves the requisition of getting like a troop of Marines on the boat.
Right.
Where Forrest goes, think you'll be comfortable with military on board? What the fuck do you think you people are? Like,
they're civilians. They're explorers.
They're
That's not a military
civilians. They're the most heavily armed thing that Earth has. They are not
and getting
civilians.
more heavily armed.
I got Flock spitting truths here. He's talking to I think to Paul.
Right.
And he's basically
like
Paul
about how they're the only aliens on board.
Yeah, I thought this was a good scene, actually.
It was actually not too bad.
I liked it too.
And then Phlox gets his shipment of beetles. Reed's checking on their armaments because they got them photonic torpedoes. Where you can dial the
intensity
yield. Apparently they go further than the old torpedoes, which like that's weird. I don't know, like whatever. But Reed and Trip are kind of chatting as they're walking down the hall, and Trip's being kind of a dick because Reed's trying to just be nice. He's like, hey, sorry about your sister. Like, did you catch the memorial? No, did you catch the memorial? Bleh. He's like, there's nothing to bury.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I
think they were trying to like portray it as him struggling with the loss, but it didn't really come across like that.
Right.
Like it was just, he's just being a dick.
Yeah, he could have just said like, I'm sorry, man, I just don't really feel like talking about it. And it'd be like the end of the scene. But no, he's got to be like, meh, nothing to bury, meh. Saval calls Archer. So it sounds, and I know this sounds like I'm just basically listing scenes because that's what this episode was. Until we actually get to the dogfight with the Klingons, it's just like scene, where we have to like run through a checklist of shit. And so the next scene is where Saval shows Archer the student horror film that the Vulcans worked on in the Delphic Expanse.
It was so good.
The Vulcans are basically like going mad and murdering each other, but fortunately, and this really does speak to the Vulcans' discipline of mind and emotion. One of them in the throes of madness was able to pull out the camera and get some really well-tuned close-ups of the action.
Yeah. I'm like, what is why would you do it in this format? Like it should be like
a stationary shot, like security camera
from like the ceiling or something like that, like a top down. Like what? Like
no.
What is the situation this video
one
is
of the Vulcans, his flavor of madness, instead of like ripping out the throats of his crewmates or whatever, was just bad filmography. It was like when they're all dead around him, he's just editing furiously, like because there's like cuts and shit in this.
It is, yeah. I was gonna say, like it's entirely cut. It's not like one scene. It's just going from fucking scene to scene.
It had like big like art school student film energy going on.
Yeah. It's real good. Archer's like, this isn't going to Archer's like, 7 billion people just died. I don't care about your little ship of horrors here. We're going into the Delphic Expanse. And Saval's like, well, I want to talk to T'Pol. So they go out the front door of the Starfleet facility, reminding me once again that in the future, San Francisco is the least accessible city in the world. Because there are steps in literally every direction. And Savol makes a fucking speech, and then and T'Pol looks contemplative, and then we cut to Archer making a speech. And I don't know, we start getting to this part where I feel like I'm watching Discovery, because every scene has just some inspirational speech.
I mean, you skipped over Savol basically telling T'Pol that she's spent too much time around humans, and she's being reassigned to some Vulcan post on Vulcan.
Yeah, well, it was stupid, so I ignored him.
I mean, it's
it's one of those it's artificial conflict that's silly.
But it's not only is it artificial conflict, it's the same old Vulcan storyline they pitch every time the Vulcans are involved in an episode, and it's annoying.
Yeah, what is this, the fourth time T'Pol's potentially been recalled or whatever?
Yeah. We don't... It's just stop it.
It's too many. For some reason, they feel that good time well spent in this episode will be a glory shot of the ship leaving dock after a refit.
This is where you see the funny CG man.
Oh, yeah, I assumed. The ship doesn't look any different, so I'm not sure why this scene was even made.
I don't know. I thought it looked cool.
Okay, well, it was for Rob. Congratulations.
Who doesn't like a ship leaving space dock?
It just felt very is this the first episode of a new show? What? We don't need another angle of this ship leaving a space dock with some inspirational music.
You know what I was thinking the entire time I was watching this episode? This should have been the first episode of Enterprise.
It definitely felt that way. It felt like that first episode checklist that they were running through, right?
Yeah. Well, and it just, I don't know, it gave them an actual purpose where before they were just kind of wandering around, which fine. It's Star Trek, I get it.
I think that's kind of the issue with this episode. It is in that it was they just felt like they needed to set up the next season in its entirety with it, and they didn't give any other I think it was a very dramatic opening scene, and I think that was a good setup, but they also didn't do enough with that, I think.
Yeah, my overall complaint about the episode was that this could have been 4 separate episodes.
Yeah. There's why were the Klingons in this?
Yes, the Klingons fucking made me mad, because it's why are they even here?
I feel like it would have been much better if they cut out everything with the Klingons and had some more drama leading up to the Xindi firing on Earth or something.
Or even in the aftermath after. They could have
show us some shit happening. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. They could, spend some scenes in Starfleet Command responding to this, this attack.
Or maybe
literally.
Yeah, or maybe Trip's sister isn't in the canyon, but next to it, so we can watch her dealing with the immediate aftermath, a la Independence Day with Will Smith's wife.
Right.
Yeah. There were definitely better choices to be made here. But anyways, speaking of the Klingons, we get back to them, and they see the NX-01 is leaving, and they're charge weapons and prepare to bring them online, which I thought those were the same action. I didn't know that we could charge our weapons but then not have them online. I thought that was the same thing.
No, disruptors do it backwards. It's fine.
Oh, that makes sense. You know what? I apologize. In the next act, Trip and Archer are getting drunk in the middle of the night. I guess, so Trip says something about Porthos, and Archer's he's asleep. Does your dog not wake up when you leave in the middle of the night? What the fuck kind of dog do you have? It's the first thing dogs do is get up when you get up.
He had too much cheese.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We get another speech, which sounds a lot like a blog post on a cooking blog, because Archer gives a lot of unnecessary detail. But Trip is basically "Sir, my sister's dead. I'm ready to fuck some shit up." And then the Klingons attack.
I don't know. I thought this scene did have some merit, because I think it's a tone shift for Archer. I don't
disagree, except that they don't stick the landing on it.
That's fair.
A tone shift, fine, but they don't keep the tone shifted. So what was the point?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
And actually, like, in case in point, too, like, when the Klingons attack and they go onto the bridge, the tone is completely erased by the fact that, like, Trip and Archer were apparently the only people who weren't on duty right now because everyone else is at their station, in their uniform, looking perfectly fine. So, like, the like, we've got bigger things to deal with right now, like, tone that was kind of carried out of that scene was completely erased by the fact that everyone else is just by okay, places everyone, here we go.
By the unnecessary Klingon plot.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely, I think it's a scene that had potential, and then, as is unfortunately so often been the case with this show, it's like, oh, why did you ruin the thing that had a good setup? Why?
They fire some of their newer torpedoes at the Klingons. Every single torpedo fired, Reed's smile gets a little bigger. That motherfucker is real happy to kill some people.
Yeah, I mean, rip shitty torpedoes. Now we got photonic torpedoes, and they're badass.
Yep. The torpedoes are good enough that it scares the Klingons off again. Yippee! And then we get to another scene where, like, Archer and T'Pol are talking, and it's just awkward because Archer's trying to be like, their plan is to take T'Pol to Vulcan and drop her off on the way to the Delphic Expanse. And Archer's like, so you're looking forward to going back to Vulcan? She's like, no. He's like, well, you're looking forward to, seeing her eating some better Vulcan food? No.
Bet you're looking forward to not having to deal with those smelly humans.
Nah.
I like it now.
Like, I like it now.
I don't know. I like this scene a lot because it, like, especially after how Trip and Archer were talking with each other, it's nice to know that nobody wants T'Pol to actually leave. I don't like, not even T'Pol.
My issue isn't the concept of the scene. My issue is how it was delivered. It was awkward and, like, poorly dialogued. Like, especially because it seems like Archer's trying to get her to say, I want to stay, but she just won't for some fucking reason. Whenever a Vulcan is reticent, I get kind of annoyed because it's like, why aren't you just saying it? What emotion are you fucking showing right now?
She spent too much time around humans.
Because she obviously wants to stay on the ship. Why didn't she open the conversation with that? Why play coy? Playing coy is just very unlogical, like, emotional bullshit. So anyway, she's like, I want to stay on the ship. And Archer's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes. And he's like, okay. So he goes back out to the fucking bridge. And he's like, Travis, change of plans. In order to avoid the Klingons, we're not going to Vulcan after all. Set a course for the Delphic Expanse. And Travis has this look on his face where he's like, okay. And no one else, Reed nor Hoshi, gives a single shit. They're just like, yeah, all right, whatever. They get to the Delphic Expanse, which apparently is just purple space.
Purple space.
It's purple on the view screen, so they magnify, and it's still just purple. And I'm like, that wasn't fucking helpful. And then I believe it was someone else was like, on the show, was like, that wasn't helpful at all. Why did you? What are we doing here? I guess, like, I was under the impression, based on how they were describing this Delphic Expanse, that as soon as they went into it, they would be kind of cut off communications wise. I guess they dropped some kind of buoy that let them communicate back through the Expanse.
That's what they made it sound like. Yeah, it
seems like all of the quote
like a
unquote
subspace repeater.
Yeah, it seems like all the quote unquote issues that this Delphic Expanse is supposed to have are just being solved, like, one by one. So I don't understand why the Vulcans didn't just explore this area.
You saw the found footage movie. I mean,
one student horror film, and the Vulcans are like, fuck that shit. I mean, I get why the Klingons didn't come back. They were anatomically inverted. Like, ugh. Klingons are back. They brought more birds of prey. There are 3 of them now. They, like, start shooting at them, and this part was actually kind of funny. They start shooting at them, and then the Klingons hail them, and Hoshi's like, they're hailing, and Archer's like, put it on. And the Klingon's like, we'll let your ship go as long as Archer surrenders himself. And Archer's like, go to hell. And the guy's like,
shuts it off.
And he just like terminates the connection, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's
an appropriate reaction to that.
It was.
He tells Travis to increase speed, but Travis is already at full impulse, so there's actually no faster he can go. Apparently the bird of prey had transferred his aft shields forward, which that's not how that works, but okay.
That's how it works in X-Wing.
It is how it works in X-Wing.
Yeah.
That's fair. Archer's like, he's a captain to all hands. Hold on. Like, what does that mean? What is so I guess
gravity plating.
Their plan is that because the Klingons don't have any shields up their ass, they're gonna do a loop.
You skipped the part where the other two Klingon ships.
They bugged the fuck out, yeah, because the Klingons don't want to get turned inside out again. So
they're not fans of being inverted.
They're bugging the fuck out. So. But Dumas or whatever the hell his name is, Duras.
Dumas.
Yeah, Haroldine Dumas here, or whatever his name is. He's like, fuck it, let's go. So they find a thicker cloud of Delphic Expanse gas, and Archer's plan is to do a little loop-de-loop to get behind them, because once again, Klingons are apparently the worst tactical people ever, which is real weird for a warlike culture.
Shut up.
So Reed can barely press the torpedo button because he's so fucking excited to be killing somebody.
Well, his massive erection was getting in the way of hitting the button.
So big, but he did manage to do it and blew up the Klingons, and then the Enterprise kind of cut through the end of the Delphic Expanse barrier, and that's when the credits rolled as they reached into like the space inside.
You know, with this show, I'm just not sure if the massive erection was a joke or actually observed.
It was not literally on screen, but it was figuratively
on screen for sure.
And again, like I don't 100% remember the next few episodes of this show, but it's one of those things where, like, they set up the Delphic Expanse to be this huge, horrifying issue that even the Klingons are afraid of it. And then they just immediately, like, have no issues getting through it. So,
I mean,
it's...
I do vaguely recall there being things that happened, like, in there before they get to the Xindi.
The name of the next episode is The Xindi, so I'm not sure...
Well, maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, let's set up this horrifying thing and then just immediately defeat it because we're the good guys. Like, it's just not.
I just hope there's more found footage.
Oh
boy.
Anyways, I don't know. It felt like a clumsy reboot. So we're gonna do like a rating, a scale 1 to 5, where 0 is threshold. I don't know. I gave it a 3. I feel like maybe a 2 is more warranted because it's just not well put together.
I'm on a 3. I think there was certain things that were good in this episode, and the things that were bad were more just like annoyances than like just outright made the episode worse.
I was leaning to a 4, but the Klingon stuff brought it down for me. I feel like a lot of it was unnecessary. And like I said, I feel like this would have been a much better first episode. Like, I don't understand why this wasn't where they started.
Reasons.
Well, I mean, and I think that they were trying to because Voyager, they were trying to fix what they thought was wrong with Voyager, wherein Voyager had an overall storyline that it was dealing with. So they were trying to we want to go back to like single episode bullshit, right?
Mm.
And then they fucked that up, so then they went to this overall plot.
Honestly, the overall plot is probably the stronger part of
it. Is
Enterprise.
So funny that people are in like complete two camps on that. Like some people think that the third season was the best season, and other people think it was the worst season. It seems to be about 50-50 on the internet about it.
This is going to be exciting.
I remember liking the third season best.
Yeah.
But I don't, only because I remember finding the Xindi stuff to be pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think That's my recollection of watching it. Is I enjoyed the third season the most.
So it sounds like we're threes across the board then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty, pretty straightforward summary. When we get back, we'll do a little deep dive. Welcome back, everybody. So, my original thought for this deep dive was to just talk about the show, The Expanse, for 20 minutes, because that would be more fun. However, this is the last episode of the season, so that would not be kind of fair to the show, although I don't think I need to be any more fair to this show, nor our, ones of listeners. So, as the last episode of the season, I thought we could talk about how the season kind of went overall. If it's helpful, I can go through like a quick 1-sentence summary of all the episodes.
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Is good stuff.
Okay, so I gotta remember. I'm just gonna go through them, and I gotta, to the best of my ability, to remember this shit.
Didn't you last time? You this was off the cuff, right? You haven't prepared for this.
Yes, I have not prepared for this, and that is how I did it last time too. All right, here we go. So, the season opened up with Shockwave Part 2. T'Pol believes that time travel is still not fair, but we get to see her nipples. No, that's the next episode. We get to see her navel the entire time. And then for some reason, Hoshi's shirt comes off.
Yeah.
Dude, you forgot the best part of this whole episode. It was the missiles concussing the Suliban off the ceiling.
Oh, fuck, that was this episode. I forgot about the fly swatter torpedo.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Next episode was Carbon Creek. We learn about T'Pol's grandmother fucking around in Pennsylvania. We get to see her nipples, weirdly. And I don't know. She supposedly invents Velcro because no one on this show knows how to research anything.
Best episode of it.
It was Rob's favorite episode.
I still find it hilarious that your favorite episode is the episode that had the least amount of the animal.
It
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. It was a good episode.
It had statistically the least Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Minefield. Reed once again proves that he is not good at ordnance and gets stabbed through the leg.
Oh God, that's right.
The Romulans show up. Dead Stop, probably the strongest the show has ever been in a single episode. Reed gets his leg fixed, although it turns out that if they don't pay properly, they might break his leg again. A Travis clone gets made, and I don't know, it's a good show. It's a good episode.
That was a good episode, yeah. I enjoyed that one.
I like that one a lot, yeah.
A night in sickbay, Porthos gets sick and everyone's sad, but also he peed on a tree and it was funny.
Yeah.
Chainsaw
rituals.
Chainsaw rituals.
Chainsaw rituals, yep. Okay, Marauders. No one likes
Beach
this
volleyball
episode.
scene.
It's the stupidest shit anyone's ever seen. And Rob's favorite part is when they all do the little shuffle over to the left in order to get the Klingons sticking in the middle of the fire.
Was so bad. Oh my God.
Peak combat tactics. That's even better than ceiling warfare.
Yeah.
Episode 7, the 7th, X-Men's Senator Kelly shows up and has a sap story, but it turns out bad writing saves the day once again.
Oh God. That was the best example of them setting up a good plot line and then absolutely botching the ending.
Yeah.
Episode 8, The Communicator. Despite what it sounds like, it is actually about a physical communicator. And also, the humans realize that they're not actually good at dealing with primitive species. Let's see, 9, Singularity. Everyone blacks out except for T'Pol. Oh, but Hoshi had to that's right. Hoshi had to cook because she's the woman.
Uh-huh.
Archer can't fly. Episode 10, Vanishing Point. In a twist that we don't get to see, except in this episode, Hoshi has to overcome imposter syndrome, and also is stuck in a transporter beam for some reason.
Hoshi's imposter syndrome is her singular trait.
I think this might be the more egregious botching of an ending for me.
I mean, it's bad.
It's not good.
For sure.
It's not good. See, episode 11, Precious Cargo. A princess is being held hostage inside a cryotube, but don't worry, Trip warms her up with his penis.
Yeah, that's the thing. Trip bangs a hot lady. That's this episode.
Number 12, Catwalk. Everyone's got to get in an nacelle, and then things get weird.
Yeah, I think this was a fun episode.
It was all right.
I like that one, yeah.
Number 13, Dawn.
Healing loogies.
Dawn. Oh, Dawn.
Oh,
that's right. It's Enemy Mine.
Medicinal spit.
Yeah. Trip is on the planet with a hostile alien, and they recreate one of the most baffling 80s movies that's ever existed. Number 14, Stigma. Space AIDS, everybody. It sucks.
Yep.
Trip once again is involved sexually with people, or trying not to be.
Let's see. 15, Ceasefire. Episode with
Endori and Dami Mommy.
Episode with Shran and Endori and Dami Mommy. Saval turns out to be kind of a badass. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
16, Future Tense. A surprisingly good episode where basically everyone on the Enterprise stayed out of the way of the plot and it worked out.
Yeah.
17, Canamar. It's Star Trek Enterprise does Con Air, but badly.
Yes, accurate.
But it did have the best alien creature in the entire show so far, with dangly feather face guy.
Fucking gummy worm neck.
Captain Zumas.
Captain Grossface.
No, episode 18, let's see, The Crossing. Consent is for babies, and also, we can live in space as long as we feel like we should.
If the plot needs it.
Episode 19, Judgment. Klingon trial goes stupidly, and then they get locked in an ice prison, but then immediately escape without any actual hardship. Episode 20, Horizon. Travis goes back to his old ship and immediately thinks that he's better than everyone, and everyone hates him for it at the end.
Wait, what's the name of his ship, though?
I believe it was the Horizon.
Oh, okay.
21, The Breach. This episode was actually pretty good. It was not actually about the breach, really, but that's all right. Some people went caving.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Let's see. Episode 22, Cogenitor.
God.
An episode that ended so egregiously, I gave it a 0. Fuck that episode. I'd rather watch Threshold.
Yeah, it was not good.
Let's see.
It was the worst one.
Episode 20.
I think we rated it as the worst one, too.
No. Christopher gave it a 2.
Oh?
Yeah, you want to explain yourself, Chris?
I mean, it was bad. It wasn't quite Threshold bad for me, but it was bad.
I feel like at some point y'all are getting like desensitized to these numbers. They just don't mean anything. So Chris is just like, whatever, it's a 2. Like
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
23, Regeneration. The Borg show up for some fucking reason, and Enterprise can't even get that right.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Oh man, you gave that shit a 3 and Rob gave it a 4. Don't even. Y'all love that fucking episode. Y'all want some.
That was the one that Eric co-hosted on.
Y'all want some Borg hand jobs.
Ooh, so metallic.
so rough.
It's probably stabby too.
Yeah, so stabby.
Episode 24, First Flight. We go back in time to watch a not at all younger Archers be a shitty test pilot in the geriatric test pilot program.
Great episode.
25, Bounty. Like, it was just such a nothing episode. I don't even have anything to say about it. Archer was just basically held in the back of a shuttle and went the whole time while a pretty badass Tellarite was just telling him what to do. And then
badass, but he also kind of sucked at his job.
No, he was awesome.
The most naive bounty hunter ever.
He let Archer easily sabotage his ship, although
but it didn't matter
at all. So
maybe I like to think that the Tellarite just gave Archer some like fake shit to play around with while he was doing the real repairs. And then that was last episode, so now we are at the Expanse. Overall, I would say a stronger season than the first season.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah.
there
Even
were
if
certainly higher points in this than the first season.
even if this does so far have our 2 lowest rated episodes.
I was gonna say there were higher highs and lower lows in this one.
Yeah. I have yet to give anything a 5.
So wait, Congenitor was bad. What was the other one that was the
Marauders?
the lowest?
Marauders.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Marauders
So
was the
bad.
first episode we all gave 1s to.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, I have yet to give this show a 5.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
realizing?
I don't. Nobody has, right?
Rob gave Carbon
don't think
Creek a
I've-
5.
Yeah, I gave Carbon Creek a 5. I think that, like, aside from the very first episodes of season 1, I have not enjoyed the Klingons showing up on the show a whole lot. With
No.
the exception of that one where was it a bird of prey? I don't remember. It was a ship
No,
that was like
it-
falling into
it was
a
a
gas
raptor.
It
giant.
was a raptor.
It was a
class.
raptor.
was a raptor,
Also
yeah.
a type of bird of prey, but whatever.
That was a good episode. But other than that, like, anytime the Klingons have showed up, it's just been kind of annoying.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's because they're useless. Like, they're supposed to be like this foil, but they don't actually foil anything. They're just an annoying pest.
They're like the stormtroopers of Star Trek.
Yeah, basically.
Similar tactics.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with our stick-to-itiveness here. I think that getting through 52 episodes of this show proves that we're able to do pretty well. We're we've already got shit lined up for next season, so we're definitely going to stick to it.
Only 52 more to go.
No, so actually season 3 and season 4 are shorter. So we have 46 episodes left in this fucking show.
46. I mean, that's less than 52.
It is less than 52. It is still almost a year.
Chris did the math.
Oh man. So yeah, that's what I got for the deep dive today. We will take a quick break and be back with Rob for a potpourri.
All right, welcome back. So I thought that I would steal a page out of Stanford's playbook here.
Oh, you're gonna
And,
hate the show?
No. In preparation for next season, I think that we need to prep new bingo cards.
Ooh.
Oh, we doing bingo cards next season?
I think we should. I feel like that should become a thing that we do. It
Okay.
was very fun for like the first, I don't know, like 15 episodes. When did we get bingo? Did we record like what episode that was on?
We started with was the first time we hit it?
Yeah, I got it first.
You did get it first, and it was one that you were hosting. Because I remember you went, I got such and such, and that is a bingo for me. I don't remember whether it may have been Stigma. It was somewhere in there, or it might have been Ceasefire.
It was like somewhere between like 12 and 15.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I probably got bingo because I'm sure Chris has done the Scooby-Doo laugh. I think that was the only thing I had left.
I got bingo off Essential Ear Rub in The Crossing.
I got bingo at the same
Yeah,
time.
because I'm
you did.
missing either Chris does the Scooby-Doo laugh, Bondage, or Andorian Save the Day.
Well, the Andorian saved the day in Ceasefire, right?
Maybe.
Not really.
That's the only time they showed up. And
I
yeah,
wouldn't say they saved the day.
Shred saved Archer from Dami Mommy.
That's true.
Well, yeah, that's true. She did kind of get the upper hand at the end there, didn't she?
So do we have to like come up with all new things for the bingo cards then?
Well, I was thinking the free space would still be horny because that's
Sure.
that's just a gimme. Do you want me to go through some of the ones we didn't get?
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you have?
I
A
have
complete
mine in
list?
front of me as well.
I don't have a full list, but I have a whole bunch. So
Okay, I have
I-
mine too.
I don't. I feel like we would have called it out. I don't think that Chris actually got a Scooby-Doo laugh this season. Do we want to add that back
Yes.
in?
We never called it out, although I'm pretty sure that almost every episode you could call one of his laughs a Scooby-Doo laugh.
No, there's a very specific laugh that is obvious.
No, there is.
And
Yeah,
he's
there's
done it
specifics.
because I think he hates me. He's done it like when y'all are playing Helldivers and I'm hanging out. Yeah, that's when he does it now.
Sometimes it's
Yeah,
like right
that-
after we're done recording.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a jerk. He's a stupid face.
Uh, new recurring character.
Yeah.
That was
I don't
another
have
one we
that
didn't
one,
hit.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to get that one
Yeah,
in
that's gotta be
season
a
3
gimme.
because
Okay.
that Marine shows up.
Yeah.
This might be in a similar vein then. Brand new Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, we'll get the. Well, they're not Starfleet though. Apparently,
They are.
Oh, that's
no.
true.
That motherfucker was like, it's going to be weird having non-Starfleet personnel on the ship. Like they're apparently not in
You're talking about the
Starfleet.
Marines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here's one we definitely didn't land
Wait, we
on.
did get-
Rob loses at trivia.
We did get a new Starfleet uniform because of the cold weather jackets and stuff.
Mm.
In what episode was that? Was that the 7th?
No, it would have been the 7th, but we had those in some of the opening episodes of the first season. Because there was that one episode where they got stuck in a firefight trying to get back to the shuttle, and they were outside on a cold planet.
Remember the 7th when like the bar at the station is like a medieval tavern for some reason?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, I just remembered that. It's fucking stupid.
We got Mind Meld. That surprisingly didn't happen.
That did not
Oh, yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Yep, mind meld.
Add that back in.
Let's see. The MRI bench goes too fast. We did get in regeneration.
We did.
Yeah. Sensual ear rub.
We did get that. That was in the crossing.
Yeah,
Porthos hasn't actually eaten any cheese.
we got Grappler gets fired. That happened last episode.
Last episode.
I
Yep.
Yeah.
still have
Archer falls in
sad
love.
call to Admiral Forrest is missing.
No, that definitely happened.
We had that.
That was this episode, at least.
Well, we didn't actually see it, but yeah, we also had it on First Flight.
But Archer falls in love.
Archer Falls in Love we have not had this season.
Let's have Starfleet baseball.
That's
caps.
kind of incredible.
Oh, we never
Starfleet
did see the
baseball
baseball caps, did we?
No. Trip gets violated.
That definitely happened.
That happened
right?
in the crossing, right? Oh no, that happened with Flux's wife.
Yeah.
No, I argued for that, and you said no.
No, I said yes. I specifically said
know
he
about
definitely didn't approve. Like, yeah, no, I was with you on that.
Well, do we want to add it back on anyway? Because that's a fun one.
Because it's God damn, we are bad
Sure.
people.
We're the worst degenerates. Okay, so that's all the ones that I have that we didn't
also
get.
have-
So now we can go
I have
through some
Suliban
of...
surgery. Did you say that?
Oh, yeah.
Never got that. I don't even know if the Suliban show back up or not.
There's violating the Prime
we'll add it in.
Directive.
Oh, we hit that this one.
Yeah,
Are you just winning
we
ones
got
that we
that.
didn't hit? Grappler
Right.
gets fired. You never got your grappler, did you?
No, we did
We did
last
last
episode.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah, with the bounty hunter.
I have Vulcan's sense of humor on here, and I'm trying to think if that ever actually happened this time. I don't think it really did.
I don't know. I feel like T'Pol's had some good one-liners this season. I feel like it's happened.
I mean, there hasn't been anything that lives up to "Did she take you home to meet her holographic parents?" Which is the fucking funniest thing anyone's ever said on this show.
All right, I'm adding it back in. So yeah, I guess things that we've hit before. Maybe think like opposite of that. Like instead of the missiles suck, the missiles work. Would that be a good one?
Well, they're not missiles anymore, right? They're torpedoes.
Well, they're torpedoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Photonic torpedo.
Photonic
Torpedoes
torpedoes.
Do you want to do like the Klingons demonstrate good strategy tactics?
Oh, Klingons show
Never.
back up again? Because I don't know if they
Yeah,
even
there you
do.
go.
Oh, they
I don't know
do?
if they do or not, but yeah, one way for that in. Klingon show up.
Klingons show up and immediately suck again.
You should put in Matthew scores an episode as a 5.
Ooh, that's a good meta one.
That's a
Never gonna happen.
yeah, that's a unicorn right there. I'm not. I would be surprised if any episode of this show writes a 5.
You said
in
you
my
liked,
book.
you remember liking season 3.
That's
Yeah.
true.
There's a really good
If
chance.
it's gonna happen, it'll be this season.
But man, like Dead Stop didn't even make it to a 5 for me because the acting's just so fucking bad.
We already know there's no more decon rub downs.
Oh yes, that is the last decon rubdown scene was in the last one. Yep.
I don't know if this would be a good one because it seems like she's getting less than the screen time. Do we want to add in Hoshi overcomes imposter syndrome again?
We absolutely need to keep that on the board. Yes, because
Yeah.
she overcame it twice this season. Like,
Oh, how about Travis pulls a prank?
Travis pulls
Yeah.
a prank. He has yet to do that.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I like it.
I like it.
Shirtless Bacula. Do we want that back in there?
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants it.
All right. Would you prefer that or trip in underwear?
Well, I'll tell you which I prefer.
Yeah, that's an easy choice right there.
All right, we're gonna add in trip in underwear. That brings us up to like 17 so far. I think we should see if we can come up with some new ones then.
Yeah.
Wait, are you,
We got Klingon show up, and we got.
are you still going to do I'm not a
got-
profession, but Matthew's other thing, or are you going to skip that one this time?
Oh yeah, no, we should totally include that.
I do say that kind of a lot. I haven't done a lot of the phaser set to in the last like half a dozen or a dozen episodes, though.
Do we want to add in me losing at trivia again? Just to
No, I
give
thought it
people a
was
freebie?
Rob wins at trivia since we're doing the opposite.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good one.
that's actually happened too.
This is,
Twice this season.
Chris gets mad at music trivia again.
Just your stupid intro theme music.
Now we're gonna do the outros.
Aren't they the same mostly?
Generally, yes. Although the original series had a different song for its outro.
They did, yeah. Do we want to like add in maybe like I don't know if they ever do or not, but like we get to see the NX-02 in action.
So that does happen at some point. I do not know when. So you're welcome to put that on the sheet. But I know the NX-02 shows up at some point.
NX-02 debut.
How about Marine Squad is deployed?
Yeah.
Oh, send in a Marine Strike Force. Oh, shit, yeah. Do y'all know what that's from?
Battlestar.
Hell yeah. Man, Edward James almost fucking... But Admiral Adama wanted to send a Marine Strike Force to deal with like 8 problems an episode for like 3 or 4 episodes there in the middle of season 2.
I never watched Battlestar.
That's one of those things where it's like Battlestar seems like the kind of thing that would be fun if we started making actual money on this and we're putting up like Patreon bonuses and shit. Like I could totally watch through some dumbass Battlestar with y'all. That'd be fun as shit.
Yeah. What about humans get transported? Or humans in the transporter?
Have they done more than one human at a time in the transporter yet? I think it's only been one by one, right?
Yeah,
It's only been
like,
one by one.
So maybe do like a multi-human transport? Like that's bound to happen at some point, right?
Probably.
I don't know. They've only got the one circle like on the ground in this one. I don't know if they can do multiple things at once.
Man,
How about
that sounds like you're thinking that they're going to adhere to some kind of rule.
how about Hoshi has a plot line that's not imposter syndrome?
Oh, Hoshi has to cook. Hoshi has to cook. Bitch cooked twice this season. Like,
All right. Reed blows something up.
Yeah, that's too easy.
it's a
We
little
already got
too
into
easy.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to do water polo again?
Oh, was water polo? Yeah. I don't know. Do we see water polo again? Throw water polo in
We
there.
did.
Yeah.
Say time travel, but I know that happens.
How about like
Daniel shows up?
Oh, I don't know if Daniel shows back up or not.
I wasn't expecting to see him again this season, so
How
Throw 'em
about
in there.
yeah, you could throw him on there. How about like a completely dropped plot thread?
Oh,
okay.
I don't remember what episode it was, but there was an episode where they just completely forgot to deal with one of them. And we were like, what the fuck happened to so-and-so? And it's like, never mind, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Oh, kind of
Was
like
that-
those people, the Suliban, and they were like,
Yeah, the escape,
the
yeah,
escape, that's right.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna go do the thing, and then like episode's over. I guess they died or something. I don't know.
Detained. That was in Detained.
Detained, yeah.
What about Vulcans admit the possibility of time travel?
There you go.
Sure, yeah.
Never. That's a dead space right there. Is that like any Vulcan or like Vulcan High Command?
Any Vulcan.
Any Vulcan, yeah,
It'll probably be T'Pol.
probably. All right, I'm thinking like maybe 3 more. We're at 27, and I figure that'll give us like 5 so that you might not see all of them on every bingo card.
I don't remember how many we had the first time, but it was a bunch.
Everybody piles into the catwalk.
It's
That did happen twice.
like if I had a nickel for every time they piled into the catwalk. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it is weird that it happened twice.
I'm adding it in.
We had 38 on the first one.
I'm trying to remember if that happens again. I don't think it does.
Do we see the Ferengi again at any point?
God, I hope not. Wait. No, that's a good one though. Like, let's do retconned first contact. Like, because they met the fucking Borg early, they met the fucking Ferengi early, like they met the fucking Thorians early. Tholians. Like retcon first contact.
Oh, I forgot about the Tholians.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, one more.
Honey. Oh, Mariah is offended by something. We saw the meta for her too.
All right, I like it. All right, that takes us up to 30. I think that's a fair batch. So we'll get those ready on Bingo Baker again.
Yeah, I gotta make some coffee mugs for us. So if anyone out there actually finished the bingo sheet for this season, fucking send me an email. podcls3@gmail.com and I will send you a coffee cup.
Great coffee cup. All right. Well, thanks everybody. As Stanford mentioned at the top of the podcast here, please remember to like, subscribe, share us with your friends and family, spread the word, helps us grow. Y'all have anything else you want to add in before the end of the week?
The end of the season.
End of the season.
I wanna like pretend we're gonna be gone for like a whole seasonal break, but we're gonna be back in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
I'm excited. We're more than halfway through at this point. So,
and let me just say, if I can be vulnerable for a minute, I am very much enjoying doing this with y'all, and I am happy that we are continuing.
It's
been a lot of fun.
It's always a good time.
So I'm hoping that we can get some more listeners as we keep going, because like, not because I need listeners to have fun, but I'm worried that without them, I'm gonna lose the drive, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we'll start getting some listeners.
I've enjoyed having like a more purposeful watch of this show, because it's like making me write down and remember things in a way that I don't usually do when I just like binge TV.
Yeah.
So like maybe by the end of this, I'll actually be good at Star Trek trivia. 14 years down the line.
Actually,
I'm both. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Chris.
I would say I'm excited / apprehensive to get to TOS, because that's the series that I never really watched.
Same. Yeah. So, well, then we will catch you all next season. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.